okay, so I know I'm trans, but what does that mean? Because it was still kind of a question of like, what was I gonna do? I actually spent a lot of time going to church on a regular basis, um, which I hadn't done quite as regularly before that, or probably since. But like, I feel like that was a place I really needed to just, I guess, figure not just to figure out what I needed, but I needed it to feel okay. And I would sit in church and like every week, and I I don't know if it was me. I don't know if it was the pastor. I don't know if it was just some sort of happenstance. But every week I felt like I would just hear about like this message of like being made new, um, and this promise and this hope, and like knowing that, like hearing that like the message of this place that is so often associated with homophobia, with hate, with transphobia, was a message of transformation. And it was a message that, like, there's a promise, there are good things, and it's not just it's okay to go be involved with those good things, but actually that's what you are compelled to do with your faith, is like to really live into this life that you've been given. At that moment, like what my like church life and my faith was telling me is that like I have a responsibility to live into the person I want to be, um, and that's a lifelong thing. It wasn't just that I went those few weeks and thought, okay, I'm gonna take the plunge, and I'm gonna do hormones, and that'll be it. But it's not just about like doing those things, but it's about continuing to like think about it and to like have this amazing opportunity to um, live a life that I get to just make as good as I can. And not just make it as good as I can for me, but like make it as good as I can for the people around me. In Christian parlance, we call it witness. And in some ways in my past it was a scary word because I was 12 and going like door to door, like in Kansas, asking people if they believed in Jesus. And now I'm not doing that. Now I stand up and I stand up in church, in chapel, like the first thing out of my mouth is like, I'm trans. And I mean, it's sort of a big scary thing, and it's sort of public, but it's also part of the work of living this life that like I think is really very much a part of the faith life that I grew up with.